The final segment of DLC. Welcome to another segment of Shawn Jon play. We playing Resident Evil Revelation 2. I gotta say this at the beginning of every video due to the fact that John was bitching about that. But anyway, this is the final thing about DLC. We just going on and on about like how we really feel about DLC, like how it fucking up
At
gaming,
least what I've found out anyway.
or how we think that it should go away, or how people need to stop being lazy. I think gaming should be like how it was in PS2. But then again, it's just a cash grab. Like we actually already determined, they just milking it and people getting it. They take shit that could have been on the game and then they put it on the game later, meaning they already give us an incomplete game down there. And it's robbery, but yet people allowing the shit to happen. But then again, it's all our fault. We want games that run at 1080p. We want games to be no. They want the game to be able to put 1080p resolution run at 60 frames per second. They want all of that, and they want top notch voice acting, graphics. They want a lot of stuff. At the end of the day, you got to realize that shit costs a lot of money, and that is why we got DLC. It seems like as we got more graphics, as the graphic improve, the more shit they took out of the games. It's just how it is. And we kind of the ones to blame. Well, most of the people that actually are graphic forward, they want a fucking PC, but they don't want to spend the money for it. I mean, they want the PS4 to be powerful as hell, but they don't want to fork out $800 for a more capable platform. And then they complain about it, and then they complain about DLC when they take shit out the game because they can't put it there and get the game out
I
on
can believe it.
time. That ain't like how I feel about it. I mean, do you agree with anything I said right there, John?
Of course, man, because there are a lot of things and there are a lot of factors that in games. I understand that, and to be fair, is that like the biggest argument when it comes to why is it that most games why they were DLC like early on. The reason why they was because a lot of companies were a bit too were or at least with how things seem, they seem to be just a little bit too ambitious, and then that forced them to say like, okay, we may have put a little bit too much in this end or that end or whatever. And honestly, you could look at a game and say that okay, maybe they put a little bit too much time in this, a little bit too much time in that, and they need a little bit extra time, and then the game comes out and then they gotta patch like a lot of shit. I mean, I understand that. I mean,
You
like
talking
at
about
least
day one
that,
patch?
or at the very least, that is my original conclusion. You may watch out, but or at least that is my original conclusion. Today is a thing of now is that companies are actively doing that want because they just want the money. It's like, what do you want? I want the money. Like, like if I have to take back some features just so I can make like an extra three, say so like $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, I will do it. I will hold back levels. I will
And
hold back stages,
oh
features,
man, do
skills,
not do not
anything
get
I
me
can
started on
say.
Destiny. They just bringing out another story mode. We still got to buy two story modes, man. They both cost $30. A whole game again,
Compare that
basically.
to Final Fantasy 14 A Realm Reborn. Compare it to that.
You gotta do the same thing to that. But those
No,
some
no,
big
no, no.
ass games though.
Compare what you are getting. Compare compare to that.
Yeah, if
That's
I
that's 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 pretty much what I'm asking. Is that like it's not the fact of like okay
oh shit.
I'm spending extra money upon like something else. It is the question of the quality because if the MMO game if they did that they are giving you the game for free, or at least that is the major argument. The problem is that most of those games when they do it they give you shit for free when those companies do it, you still have to spend money on their fucking game. So, you know.
Pretty much. And then, like I said, you guys spent down to $120 on Destiny. Yeah, but you know, like see that boy day when you got paid $60 for the extra goddamn thing. It got 2 extra DLC. There's a damn bug right behind me, man. Yeah, that little motherfucker.
Nobody.
You killed the shit out of that nigga.
Smoke bomb.
Yeah, but yeah, I hate them damn things.
But I'm like, look, I was saying this thing, man, about Dead or Alive, the last round. I'm like, look, it's a free game. You download it, you can play it, you can do all these things. You can play our arcade mode. Okay, fine. You only have like 4 characters unlocked, but it gives you the option of saying like, I wanna, or at least like, it's not necessarily a demo. It's more or less like you have the game. You can play it for as long as you want, and you can do that. It is the full-on game, and you can pretty much play the game and have all these basic features. Okay, that's fine because I want to go out and I just want to play a game and do all this other stuff. But if they want to tell me that this is a video game that I spent $60 on, and I have to spend an extra $60 for all these DLC add-ons, and then I have to spend another like $10 to get all of its costumes, to get the wallpapers, to get like all this crazy extra shit that I probably will not ever for characters that I won't even probably use. It's like, well, why am I spending all this money for all this stuff? And honestly, the only question is that the developer made it, or at least like the team made it. Why did they do that? I mean, like this is going full circle all the way back to the Evolve thing of them saying we made guns that have like different skins and we want to sell them for like $1 each. Why isn't that in the game? Why isn't that just in the fucking game? And they're like, well, now it's not because if it was, then like, you know, we wouldn't get paid for that. Like, because you're not supposed to. It's supposed to be in the game. It's supposed to be something extra, something that I unlock. If it's something that I need to honestly get, if it's a brand new mode, a brand new character, a brand new level, something that is adding to the story, then give me the money. Okay, I will give you money for it. But if it's not, then why the fuck, man, am I spending like however much money for it? I don't give a fuck if it's $1. Why the hell am I spending money on it?
I feel you, man. I mean, I'm with it too. That's why I barely support DLC unless it's an episodic game or it's an outfit that I want to get. I still, like I keep saying, I ain't bored anything they gotta do with Mortal Kombat yet. I got the money, I just haven't done it yet. I'm gonna work for most of that. I mean, I know we forced to get them extra characters though. You forced to get those if you really want to play with them.
Well, other than that, I don't get a variation video or nothing yet.
Yeah, me either. That's why I haven't bought. That's why I ain't get the combat pack. I gotta see what Jason could do. And you know he ain't coming on to what May. They say May the 4th.
May 5th.
Yeah, May the 4th, May the 5th.
May 5th.
Yeah. So fuck that. Until I see what Jason could do or what everybody else can do, that when I get to stay on combat pack. It'll be like by the time with everybody out, so I can see what they can do and see what I spend my money on. I might not even like the fucking character, you know.
I mean, like a lot of people, they don't like the changes that they've made now. But I'm like, again, I'm not about to try and shame anybody for fucking going out and like doing what they want to do with their money. Right. I mean, to be fair, I do have my own little guilty buys and shit whenever it comes to this sort of thing because I do it every time.
I do every time I play a Tales game. Like I said before. I go straight before I play the game. I go straight to the store and see what costume they got and buy them, and probably buy an extra pack for items to have mass items or something. Not mass items, but have more items. Instead of having 15, I want to have 20. I did it before.
Obviously, I mean, like I do that. I mean, like I did that for Warriors of Road GZ for specific costumes.
I never bought an expansive pack ever, never, or a season pass.
Actually, the only one that I've done that to, like if you count it, is the Telltale games, because all their games are sort of episodic, and you could say that all those are expansion packs. But in terms of saying
Right.
like, okay, I'm about to do that for every game, I'm like, no, man, I'm not. I'm not about to do that. I didn't do that for Resident Evil 6 of them saying like, okay, we're about to add in the same modes that we had last time. I did it for Resident Evil 5, and I was disappointed, and I'm not doing it again for Resident Evil 6 of saying like, well, now they have way more like mercenary maps. I'm like, well now that shit should have been free because they still haven't refined it.
You know,
I mean,
I
like,
still actually say that Resident Evil 6 would have raised a buddy for me. But I never
dude,
played mercenary mode on that game, to be honest with you. I hated that fucking game. I really did.
dude, I jumped upon. Well, I haven't gotten on camera as to why I think Resident Evil 6 is necessarily, or now is a bad game. Well, it's a bad story game, and it's not a bad. It has a terrible story and not terrible mechanics. Or at least that's like my simplest way of putting it. And for me, it's like, and for me, it's like they could have did so much different shit with it. Of saying like, just do what they did here for raid mode for their online thing. Just 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 do what they did for Operation Raccoon City, but make it good. I mean, it's not that fucking hard, man, to make a good Resident Evil game. I mean, if you can make Resident Evil 5 and make Resident Evil 4, how in
Oh
the fuck
shit.
can you fuck up with Resident Evil 6 and make that like rushed ass game? It's like, you stop rushing your fucking games and then just give me some goddamn atmosphere. That is all I ask. Shit. But, you know. So
Yeah,
like
that's for another
mm,
video entirely. Me and Chris already made a video about why I think Resident Evil 6 sucks. And he was saying why he loved Resident Evil 6. I hate that fucking game. But
I'm
still,
not gonna say that I hate it. I was
like I
disappointed
was
by it.
saying, like I already said to Lonely Silk 66. Like I already was saying to Lonely Silk 66. The only redeeming quality of Resident Evil 6 was a girl crawling between the goddamn holes that you can see their ass. That's it.
I mean, the game itself, man, it has its good points. The only bad points about it are the fact that they rushed every single thing with that game. That game probably should have been longer than what it was because they had a good idea.
The game should have been about just Leon and probably Leon, Helena, and Sherry, and probably Jake. Chris did not need to be in that game, man. My personal
No,
opinion.
dude, man. Well, now, dude, man, we're jumping things into something else, but since we're like on our last little bit, I will say Resident Evil 6, the Leon part, he should have spent the first maybe like 3 chapters of his story singularly. It should have been his entire gameplay should have been his first chapter of him getting out of the high school, then going into the subway, and then getting out of the city. It should have been a shot for shot remake of Resident Evil 2 of him struggling and trying to get out of the fucking town. For Jake and Sherry story, it should have only been in China because why? Because their story seemed to be really, really good and interesting when it came for them being in China. For 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 Chris's story, it should have been the entire thing of them being in that lab. Just take his entire team and just put them down there in that lab to where they had to deal with all that craziness and deal with all those traps and shit. If they would have just focused on that, the game would have been great. But they didn't do that shit.
Right. Well, we finally finished with this goddamn thing. It actually took 3 of them. Wow. But anyway, you got 384 more medallions than me. Fuck you, John. But anyway, tell you guys thanks. Make sure to rate,
I
comment,
don't
and
heal.
subscribe. And check out John's Grade Show channel in the description below. And have a good one. Peace out.